It's always an adventure. So after the house burned, I had to come to Texas. I had some legal business I had to take care of, had to go to the DMV, pay property taxes, and because I'm still a Texas resident, I voted. You know who I voted for. And I figured since we're gonna be doing a lot of moving, I needed my van. This is a Sprinter van that I've had at my shop for a couple of years. I've had this thing probably 5 years. It's been sitting in my parking lot. We don't even drive it anymore. I don't think I've touched it since I've moved to Vegas. And so I got the insurance back up on it, tags, legal, inspection. We had to do a bunch of work to it, and it's kind of a hoopty. And I decided to drive it back to Vegas because basically since my house burned down, I got to go buy and replace everything I own. We're going to be buying TVs and couches and chairs and mattresses and stuff, and this van's going to come in handy. Car dolly, it's been sitting in my shop for probably 5 years, and I haven't used it even once. And I was like, I bought it, and I need to take it back with me. So I threw it on the hitch. The Sprinter van, you know, when I was moving originally, this helped me quite a bit. We added those spotlights back there, added a camera. This is a 2005. We did the old card trick on the wheels. So that's where you take little playing cards, you put them around there. We spray painted them silver. We spray painted the entire van white with those turbo cans, you know, those big tall turbo cans. So we just repainted it because it was all rusty. Painted the wheels. And it looks like shit up close. But from a few feet away, it looks decent. Right? Looks pretty good. Like those wheels look fantastic. Jack did a good job on those. Replaced a bunch of the bulbs and the seals. I mean, this thing's a hoopty. It's got, I don't know, 184,000 miles, I think, on it. But like the whole top of it was all rusty, and we just spray painted it because it's fleet white. Replaced this cushion, which I found on eBay. Put in new floor mats. Actually painted the whole dash gray. It was all faded. Put this just stereo in, phone mount. I just stopped at this Walmart. We put up these curtains here. The guys put in a subwoofer, so I got a little bass. And the thing about it is, this funny that stereo I had at my house in Vegas, and I put it was new in the box. I put it on the couch so I could pack it with me. So I flew here, and I was going to bring it with me in my suitcase. So wouldn't you know, the couch caught on fire. The stereo was on the couch. But because it was in the box, it was protected. It did get a little bit melted on the face, but I pulled it out of the box. Some of the wires were a little frayed. The face was a little melted, but it works. It works. So it was on the floor all wet, took it out of the box, put it in my suitcase, brought it here, and the thing works. So I've got Apple CarPlay on that thing. So at least I can do that. It's crazy, you can't hardly get parts for these vans. It's a 2005 Sprinter, and they made a gazillion of them, but it's like there's a lot of stuff you just can't get. So I started to roll down the window, and then the window just like fell. I was like, ah, crap. It fell off the track. I had to rip the door apart here in the parking lot to fish it out. What I ended up doing was I bought some white duct tape. It's pretty haphazard, but I just put some duct tape on here to make sure that it doesn't fall off the track and fall down. And if I do try to roll it down, at least it won't fall and I can grab it so I don't have to rip the door apart. So that happened. The curtain is just here to just kind of isolate the cabin a bit, you know, makes it a little easier. I put some diesel booster in there. This I got to get this put back together, this handle. I mean, for a Mercedes made product, it's a pile of shit. I got to be honest with you. They didn't do a good job on this van. We put a battery disconnect in here because I kept draining the battery. And I don't really have a way to lock it up. This door lock doesn't work at all. The key doesn't work. So we padlocked the doors with these pucks, you know. So these are locked up, can't get through there. But there's nothing in the van, but I just can't lock it up, so it kind of sucks. So it's a little shaky. What I'm literally gonna have to do is, like, if I'd have known this before I left, I would have went and just bought a padlock and put a hasp on the door. I don't give a shit. But anyway, I'm gonna get rolling. I don't know if I'm gonna get to do much videoing on this particular trip, but just an insight into my life. This is what's going on. You know, they're gonna be rebuilding the house for the next 6 months or so, and I'm gonna need a van. I'm gonna need to go get materials. I'm gonna need to go get everything. We gotta replace all the mattresses and pillows, TVs, everything has to be replaced. And a big Sprinter van like this is gonna come in real handy. It only cost me a couple $100 to drive it back, so. All right, let's get on the road. All day yesterday, stopped at the Route 66 motel and took care of. Stayed there before I did a video about it. I was so tired, I just forgot to film anything. And drove most of the day today. I'm here just at the border of Arizona at Cheese at Indian City because I'm gonna get an Indian taco. They call it a Navajo taco. You know, the different tribes, very picky over their names. As you know, I grew up on the Sioux Reservation in South Dakota. Had a lot of Indian tacos in my day. And haven't had one in a couple of years. Some places do it different. I've had this one before. So I'm gonna have a Navajo taco. Okay guys, so this is an Indian taco, or as they call it, Navajo taco. I think one of the differences between the one we used to have, on the res and South Dakota is we use refried beans. They're using whole beans. And it should be ground beef, I don't know, a little bit. So there's a little bit of that in there. Looks really good though. Had to bring it out of the van because it's so windy outside. So they've roughly always been about the size of a dinner plate. I've eaten a lot of these in my day. They're usually a little thicker than this. Everybody does a little different. I asked her to do it extra crispy. I like to eat it flat. You just kind of. It's just a mess. They're kind of hard to eat. Mostly because the way this lady is doing it, she's making the bread a little, really light. And, if you do it like a taco and fold it, then look how big that is. It is taking me back to my childhood, which honestly wasn't a pleasant one. But I did eat a lot of Indian tacos. Partially because one of the ways that we made money was my mother would make Indian tacos. And we would sell them at powwows and fairs, of which there were many. Because it was really the only way that a lot of the people in town could make any money, selling arts and crafts. I mean, when it was a powwow season, you were selling everything you could. It was like a flea market. Hoping a tourist would come in and buy from you. Okay, well, that was a nice little pit stop, and now I'm gonna hammer it home. I got another, 300 or 400 miles to go. I duct taped this towel on the wall, on the window, because the sun is melting my face off. Let's get home. What's left of it anyway. I haven't been recording much in this van because, as you can hear, it's crazy rattly. It's rather squirrely. It makes a lot of noise, a lot of wind noise, a lot of rattle noise, a lot of engine noise. It's just loud. And it's fairly comfortable, I guess, but man, it's not fun. This has been my view for the last couple days. Hanging on to this thing for dear life. Okay, it's the next day, back here at the house. Got the generator going, doing some cleanup, doing some work. I spent 2 days alone with my thoughts, driving the van through the desert, through the mountains. I had a chance to go through a lot of comments, read a lot of things. You know, had some haters, had a couple people harassing me, calling me grifter and saying I'm, you know, because apparently the people gave me gifts and money because of the tragedy. And they're like, why don't you sell your watch? Why don't you sell your car? I guess I could do those things. I think the point of it was that there was people who said, you know, we're fans, we're friends, we're family, we'd like to help you. Rather than kick you while you're down, since you've lost half of pretty much everything you own in your home, it would suck to have to sell my car. It would suck to have to get rid of all the things that I've earned. That's the whole point of these kind of fundraisers, is so that I'm already going through a pretty terrible time. I don't want to have to lose everything I own. So, but I turned off the GoFundMe after a couple days because I thought that I would get a couple of bucks and then. But what I realized that there's a lot of people out there that really do care about me, that really like me, and they wanted to help. They wanted to give me gifts, and they're like, "Oh, Bob, you're rich." I'm like, "Bro, I am rich. I'm rich in friends. I'm rich in people that care about me. Everyone I met come up to me. It's like random people coming up to me at the concert I went to. I bought the tickets like 3 months ago, and I decided to go to the show anyway. But anyway, people just coming up to me going, "Hey man, sorry about your house." People I don't know at all. And so for all of the people out there that gave gifts and well wishes, thank you so much. It made me realize that is the valuable thing I have. Not the stuff in my house. Not the stuff that caught on fire. Yeah, I lost some possessions. But you know what I didn't lose? Is I didn't lose you. That's what I learned in this. I learned that I've got some great friends. Jerry, who's put me up at his house. All the people that came out and helped. People that came here and helped clean up this mess. Friends that just came over and brought me burgers while we were cleaning. That's what I'm rich in. Yeah, I mean, you know, all this stuff's burned up and melted and whatnot. But I realized I got a great wife. I got my little kitty cat. I got friends, family. And this'll all get fixed. We'll put up new wood, new metal. We'll paint it all. We'll fix it. But the stuff in that room that's all black and burned and charred, that's not my riches. How much money I have, my cars. No, it's you. It's all of you. The people that cared enough about me to help. So I'm very grateful. And I thought about life. I mean, even though me and Rachel we got out of here unharmed, oh man, it could have been bad. I see on the news all the time people die in house fires. And on the other side of that wall where that fire was is where we sleep. This thing, they built this wall here to protect the scene for the investigators, but you know, our bed would be right here. It's right there. Right here. It's where we sleep. On the other side of this window. And this wall was on fire. Imagine being woken up to fire and flames and smoke and so I just realized this little box here, the remnants of this little box was my mom's little stash box that was in the drawer of the tiki there, where she kept her weed. I miss my mom. I'm glad my mom wasn't here during this, but I do miss my mom. I miss my brothers, my dad, all family are gone, but the family I have left, I guess, are you. So people ask me, why do you do what you do? Why do you go on the internet? Why do you do these podcasts? It's like, even though you might be intangible over the wires, all of you are my family. I don't have any family left. I just have my friends, and I have all of you. So let me say it again. Thank you. Thank you so much to everybody who donated. Like, am I destitute? No, I'm not destitute. We're trying to prevent that. It made a big difference, you know. I had to have to pay my property taxes. That was $5,000 I didn't want to spend. A lot of expenses at the end of the year, a lot of bills. And this is just going to be so expensive. Matter of fact, they're going to put me in an Airbnb, but I have to pay for all the deposits and everything out of pocket. I actually have to pay $5,000 for the deposits for the place that we're moving into. So they're going to pay the monthly rent, but I have to pay $5,000 to move in. It's crazy expenses like that just keep getting thrown at me. I went to Texas to get that van because it only cost me $250 worth of fuel to drive that thing back, and we're going to need this van. This van is going to come in super handy because we got to be going to get materials, plywood, sheetrock, all that stuff. And this van is going to mean the world to me. I mean, it's kind of a hoopty, but that's why I went to Texas to get this van, because for only a couple $100, now I have a van. We have to run on generator for who knows how long, and I'm spending $50 a day on diesel for that. But you know what? I'm in good spirits. We're going to rebuild. It's going to be better than ever. And I know in my heart that that I have friends. And you know what? That's a wonderful thing. So thank you, everybody. Thank you. We will rebuild. Stay tuned. We're working in the house, and a friend of mine pointed out something. He said, it got so hot. He said, see where all the nails, see these black dots everywhere? So you could follow them all through the whole interior in here, all the way back here, into the, see the nail heads? He said the ceiling was so hot that the nail heads, all the way, the nail heads burned, like they got so hot that they left black marks. So like everywhere there was a nail, right? That's how hot it was. Look at this. They're everywhere. Like you see the black dots throughout the entire. So that means the interior here was so hot on the ceiling from the hot smoke that literally every nail head, see the black dots? That's insane. So yeah, if we'd have been in here, we'd be dead. All right? We'd be dead. This is the bedroom. It's quite in tatters. It's an absolute mess. But the heat in here, it had to be like the heat that flowed through the house. The black ash, you know, that it was just burning hot soot. Like these candles, I'm surprised they're not melted more. But all of the pictures and things just melted. Like that's my thermostat, and it's like, you can see it's warped.
But all these pictures, like, look, they just melted. These pictures all just melted. Like, how hot did it had to be to just turn that plastic into a ball? Yeah. Yeah, just everything in here just melted, dude. Like this dude's head is just melted. This skeleton. There's my ADT thing. It melted. Yeah. So yeah. Fire. Sucks.